So the other day I was watching Woody McClain's interview with Cam. It was a pretty interesting interview because it showed us a side of Woody McClain that we never saw before. He basically started crying. He started crying because he doesn't like how people see him, how people perceive him as a stereotypical black guy who's a gangbanger, who's angry. And so because of that reputation or because of that perception, he's getting these type of roles in movies and he doesn't like it. And it's the crying that it just irks me. It just rubs me the wrong way. See, I'm not against crying. I understand crying when somebody dies. I understand crying because of joy, because you just got a new job, you just got drafted, something that's going to change your life. I understand crying when it's a dramatic or something traumatic that happened to you. You almost died, it was an accident. What I hate is crying because you want to be a victim, because you want people's sympathy. It's just weak to me. And I've always said this. See, when you're a victim, every time something bad happens to you, you get this feeling of satisfaction, a negative satisfaction. Oh, I didn't accomplish what I wanted to accomplish because of this, because of that. And so now I'm stuck. You give yourself all these different reasons to quit or to feel good about yourself because you didn't get to accomplish what you wanted to accomplish. But see, when you don't have that mindset of a victim, when you don't want to always want people's sympathy, what happens is when something bad happens to you, something that keeps you from accomplishing your dream or from accomplishing what you want to accomplish, you tend to find another way out. You tend to find a solution. Oh, I didn't get this job. Okay, well, what other satisfaction can I get? Well, maybe they didn't get me a job because they don't like me because I'm black. But see, when you don't put that in your head, you're always thinking about what can I do next to improve my situation. Okay, they didn't like my interview. Although I thought I interviewed well, apparently they didn't like me. And so now let me see if I can get a better certification. Let me see how I can improve my interview skills. See, that's how you think. And so this crying shit is for the bird. It's weak. And I hear how everyone on TV, on social media, there's always a black man crying now. It's almost like as if crying is a sport. If it's not Woody McClain crying, it's Vic Mensa crying on social media because of the music industry. If it's not Vic Mensa crying, it's Tyrese crying because his ex-wife. It's out of control. And you know what else I hate? It's something I just realized. It's just interesting how the bad part or the bad aspect of the black community, of the black culture, gets promoted way more than the positive side. It's like everywhere you go on social media, it's Angel Reese this, Angel Reese that. And Angel Reese is the worst example you could possibly have. She's a WNBA player. She makes a lot of money from endorsements. So her life should be changed. But instead, she's on podcasts, on social media, twerking. She lacks class and she's unprofessional. But everyone on social media is Angel Reese. She got a lot of followers. Everybody want to keep up with what she does. It's nonsense. When you go on social media, you get to see an ignorant guy like Kevin Gates giving marriage advice, criticizing Savannah James because apparently Savannah James being a good wife is not good enough. She needs to be worshiping her man or her husband, LeBron. And to nobody's surprise, Kevin Gates just got divorced after 52 days of marriage. Surprise! It's getting out of control. You go on social media, all you get to see is a show called Pop the Balloon. And all that shows about black women trying to find love. But all that show really shows is bitter, angry black women who want to talk down on black men. That's all you see. What doesn't get promoted enough is a girl like Coco Gauff, who just won the French Open tennis tournament at 21 years old. She embodies brain, beauty, and talent. She's black excellence. She doesn't cuss in press conferences. She holds herself in high standard. She's not swearing on press conferences like Anthony Edwards. But because she doesn't have the negative side of of what we see on social media, she doesn't get enough. She's not promoted enough. She got 2 million followers. That girl should have way more followers than that. But instead, people want to keep up with Angel Reese. People want to keep up with Cardi B's nonsense. How she wants to be a mom and a thought at the same time. And so now they got Woody McClain on TV crying. Crying because he doesn't like his workplace. He doesn't like how his job is treating him. Well, buddy, that's everybody. That's every American. A lot of people don't like their jobs. According to stats, 70 to 80% of Americans don't like what they do. So, brother, welcome to real life. You ain't that special. There's a lot of people in your position. There's a lot of people that don't like what they do because of various reasons. They don't like their pay. They don't like how they're treated. Brother, it's part of life. We're not out here all crying about it. And so Woody McClain goes on with more complaints. He started talking about an incident. Well, he's in an acting class, and they got to introduce everybody. And so now it was his turn to be introduced. And so before he even say anything, they asked everybody in the class to say what they thought about him, their first impression. And their first impression was something along the line of violent, still typical black guy. And he didn't like that. And so that's when he started talking about how you realize that in society, people judge you before you even talk, before they even get to know you. You just found that out? You just realized that? How old were you? 12? Brother, you get judged in society. That's how it works. There's a reason why when you go to a job interview, you dress nice, because you want to give the person interviewing you a good first impression, because he's going to start judging you. That's the reason why when you go on the first day, you dress nice. You put on your best cologne. You put on your best outfit, because you want to impress the person that you're going on a date with, because she's gonna have an opinion on you, and her first impression might determine how she sees you in the future, or whether she's gonna decide to go on a second date or not. This whole judging people didn't start in the American society. It started way before you and I were born. It's the Romans were judging people. See, in a Roman society, you could get, based on how you dress, the other person could tell whether you were a Roman citizen or if you were a slave. And so based on that, they would treat you differently. So brother, didn't just start now, they were judging back then. How you walk, how you conduct yourself, how you dress. It gives another piece of information about you. People judge you based on that. Now, that piece of information that you give out to people might be wrong, but that's your fault. And it's just part of life. That's how it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Just like women shouldn't date men for money, but they do. We don't like it, but there's nothing we can do about it. So you just learn to live with it. It's just reality, brother. If you went to jail before, there's gonna be consequences. It's up to you to change that narrative. If you don't want that label to stick on you, it's up to you to change that narrative. How you talk to people, how you dress. And so I just didn't understand why he all of a sudden just found that out. And so now he doesn't want to take these violent roles. He feels like he needs to be picky. Brother, I want to tell you something. Maybe that's something you need to think about. Instead of thinking about being a victim, instead of thinking about, oh, they're giving me this role because I'm this and that. I want you to think about this in a different way. Have you ever thought that maybe because of your past, because of your violent past, you're able to do these roles really good, and that's what's giving you a job? That maybe without that past, you wouldn't be an actor, brother. Maybe you'll still be backing up Chris Brown, getting paid pennies. Have you ever thought about that? That maybe without the violent past, you wouldn't be an actor? I mean, it's not like you've done amazing work. You were in a movie for Bobby Brown. It was on BET. BET is not known for making great movies or great TV shows. BET got this TV show called All Queen's Man. The most pathetic TV show I've ever seen. It looked like it was filmed with an iPhone. It's basically about this black girl who runs a strip club. And she does all this illegal stuff. She's always committing crime. And she never gets arrested. She's smarter than the cop, the FBI, and the CIA. She can come over and run through your house. And she ain't gonna get arrested. I don't understand what the story is about at that point. So it's not like you acting on BET gives you some kind of credibility. It doesn't. You running a TV show, Power. Power? The acting is below average, brother. Mary J. Blige can't act. It's like every time she's supposed to make me feel mad, she makes me feel sad. When she's supposed to make me feel sad, she makes me feel mad. I don't understand it. She's always bringing out the opposite reaction that she's supposed to do. And then you got that guy Zeke, the basketball player. He looked like he learned how to act from a Craigslist post. And the person who's putting the team together, 50 Cent, can't act himself. Y'all remember that movie that 50 Cent was hyping up where he was supposed to be a football player? And so he lost all this weight so he can be in that role. And the movie came out. The only people that watched it is him and his mother. And so that Power doesn't give you that much credibility either. And you know what? That way of thinking will get you in trouble. You know what that reminds me of? It reminds me of Russell Wilson. See, Russell Wilson was a good quarterback when he was with the the Seahawks. The Seahawks they're a great organization. Pete Carroll was the coach. And so when Pete Carroll drafted Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll understood what Russell Wilson was. He understood his strength and he understood his weaknesses. And so what Pete Carroll did is he's built an offense that would protect Russell Wilson, that will help him shine. And so what they would do is they'll run the ball a lot and they'll let him play action off of it. And it worked. And what the Seahawks also knew is that Russell Wilson, his athleticism had a lot to do with his success. His ability to escape and extend plays. It was one of the things that made him really good. And so when Russell Wilson started having a good career, he got ahead of himself. He didn't like the fact that they were running the ball too much. They were limiting his attempts. He thought he was Tom Brady when he wasn't. And so he wasn't happy in his workplace. So he thought, man, I'm better than this. Similar to what Woody McClain is trying to do. I deserve more. And so he started asking for too much. He's getting older. The Seahawks are seeing that his athleticism that made him really good is going away. And so they're like, oh, well, we don't think you're that good that much anymore. So we'll let you go. He goes to the Broncos. And we all know what happened after. Now he's a journeyman. Now we're starting to realize that Russell Wilson wasn't as good as we thought he was. He can't see the field well. His athleticism had a lot to do with his success. And now that his athleticism has gone down, he's being exposed. And so Woody McClain, I would hate for that to be you. I would hate, see that journeyman that Russell Wilson became, I wouldn't want that to be you, brother. Sometimes you need to learn to be appreciative of where you are in life. The grass isn't always greener on the other side, brother. And you know the crazy part is that Woody McClain isn't the only person in the movie industry experiencing this type of problem. Being put in a box and getting the same roles over and over. It's very common, actually. The perfect example is Lala Anthony. In every movie or every show that she's in, she's either getting choked down or piped down by another man. I just saw her in a TV show called The Chi. She was doing the dad, the son, and the dad's friend. She's a movie thot. I don't see her complaining about it because she understands that's her value. That's who she is to the movie industry. She's a movie thot. And she's happy about it because she's making a lot of money. I don't say, and she got a kid just like you. This is what happened in the entertainment business, is that you get a certain job based on certain criteria. And if you meet that criteria, you just should be just happy to be blessed. Because you're making a lot more money than most Americans. You're not the only one. Joy Taylor is a perfect example. She runs one of the sports show on FS1. She ain't on there because she knows sports. She ain't on there because she's making smart takes. She's on there because she look good. She got a nice body. So she decorates the show. So it's very common for you to get a certain job based on a certain things, certain criteria. And so now, when I saw the comment section, he's getting the reaction that he wanted. He's getting this pity, people to feel bad for him. Oh, poor Woody. He's so talented. How you know? How you know that he's really that talented? Because he's going through all these auditions. And the people are like, nah, you're going to be the gangster. And so now you're smarter than people evaluating him. Now you're actor evaluator. Because he acted in Power. The show that's not known for great acting. It's known for having a great story, for having good drama, consistent drama, 5 different storylines. Power was not known because all the actors are amazing. I could promise you, half of the actors in Power will probably never act in a big movie, ever. And so now this guy is trying to manipulate people to feel bad for him. Oh, poor me. Oh, they putting me in the box. Brother, you're making a lot of money. The average black man in America makes $57K. That's what you want sympathy from? The person who probably does a job that takes more work than you, that takes more work than yours. They go home tired, you get to travel, you get paid 3 times more than them. There's a kid in Africa right now thinking about eating a rat because the rat is the only food available. And you're complaining because you're not happy at work. Brother, that's 70% of the country. And in real life, you know what happens is that you have a job. You don't like it, you try to find another job. And if you don't like it, you shut the fuck up and keep doing the same thing. That's what happened. So, brother, if you feel like Hollywood is now being fair to you, if you feel like Hollywood is not giving you the opportunities that you want, brother, you can quit. You can go back to making TikTok dancing videos. You can go back to being Chris Brown's backup dancer. The hell, if all fails, you can go back, you can go flip burgers or something. We don't want to hear this sob story.
This has been The Guru. Unapologetic and unfiltered opinions on the hottest sports stories. Breaking everything down from basketball and football to soccer and the UFC. And might we add, your host is always right. Just ask him. We hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. We'll be back soon. But in the meantime, hook up with us on TikTok and Instagram. He's gonna stop talking for now. See you next time on The Guru.